All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Wall Street Wednesday. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Welcome, excuse me. Welcome everyone to Wall Street Wednesday, dog, where the impatience got the best of me today. I'd be up a fucking bag. I'd be up a bag right now, chat. But I'm not. Right? Story of our lives sometimes, right? You take a nice trade, you get break even, and then the market goes your way, and you're like, damn, it's getting ready to hit the original TP now, but I'm not in it. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch, chat? Yeah. It do be that way. Know what I'm saying? Okay. So if you did not yet do so, if you did not check Forex Factory today, you probably looked at the indices and went, "The fuck is going on today?" You were probably like, "Yo, what is up with this price action today?" Well, most people are like that anyway because they don't really know what they're doing. But today specifically, I was looking at price and I knew something was off. I was like, something's not normal here. And then I went to check Forex Factory and there's federal funds rate in about 50 minutes. And that's when I was like, oh, that's why. That's why things are different. So again, the Fed funds rate FOMC statement is in about 50 minutes from right now. And then 30 minutes after that is going to be the FOMC press conference. So I think there's going to be volatility. I don't think we've made a high of day. I do think we've made a low of day. I wouldn't be shocked if we made a new low of day, but I don't think the high is set. I like 56, 56, 50, 65, no, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5. Yeah, what a sequence there. That's what I'm anticipating, and that's what I'm expecting, I guess. So, just like I opened up with, it is unfortunate that I'm not in a trade any longer. I would have been able to catch not all of this, but the majority of the current expansion, about 20 something points, But I had to go renew my mailbox today, my UPS mailbox. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go do that. And then I have a meeting later as well after the stream. So I'm like, fuck, dude, it's going to be a busy day. Might as well just go get shit done. So it's not that big of a deal. What I'm saying is FOMC days are probably best to take the entire trading day just to go do stuff. You know what I mean? Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down here? Because you don't like the stream. You know what I mean? You're not dropping any likes. So I don't know what's going on. Do I just give you guys really bad information or what? I don't know. It's possible. Would I take the second trade if I spotted that in the market? Yeah, I'll talk about that in just a minute. Scott's going to keep his gold start. I like that. That's what I'm saying. What is good? MJ, Mason, Cameron, Torty, Marshall, Naruto, Convicted Capitalist, Remy, Ebernet 2020, Ram, Shay, Jorks, Harmon, Scott, Libright. Who else is here? Almost 40 people. Oh, 40 people now. Who else is here? Chat has been open all week. Chat's been open all week, man. But God, dude, I just sometimes I hate missing moves. You know what I mean? Most of the time, it doesn't bother me. Today, it kind of did. Because I'm like, man, I fucking knew it, bro. Like, dead ass. Dead assery. Look at this. Look at this. What's going on here? 56.25. Nothing entirely spectacular about that. I mean, I guess you could say it's a 25 level, but I don't really care for that. What I do care, though, is ES 1 minute time frame. What's up here? I'm only pointing out two things. I'm pointing out a potential original consolidation. What's good, Jackson? Is that Miss Jackson? I don't remember your first name. We used to be in IM together. Is that you or is it someone else? I would say, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, but I'm sure you've probably heard that way too many times. So, what's good? Omar, DJ, Gessner, Marius, Leon. Anybody else? Okay, so what is down here? We have a low here. We have a lower low here. And then what do we have right there? We have a what? Third lower low. That is what, chat? If we have a 1, 2, 3 formation lows, we have opposing liquidity, opposing consolidation as a high. What is the likelihood the market will continue lower? Can the market go lower? Of course it can. The market can do anything. Hell, look at Google today, down 8%. That breaks my heart. You know, that's fucked. But in index future sense for day trading, what are the probabilities that it goes lower versus the probabilities that it goes higher? I would say, I can't give it a percentage, of course, but I would say way more times than not, it should go higher from here. Does that make sense? And that, my friends, as we watch it go higher without me, was down here. Okay? That's right there. Now, mind you, we did trade into that quite a number of times, and that probably would have got you break even, or this probably would have got you break even. Probably me too. But here's where things get a little bit tricky. Okay. Number one, Dow was the leader. Dow was the one that hit TP earlier, and Dow is flying. So if you were to ask me, Dow was the one, and I gave you that at 10:30. I gave you that right in here. I gave you 41,175 as an upside, and then we ran there. Now, had you been there from the 25% level or a little bit lower, if you survive that pullback, then there is a sliver of a chance that you caught almost this entire expansion, which is cool. That's what I should have traded instead of ES. So that's what I get for breaking the rules that I gave you. There's a reason I have rules, chat, and there's a reason you don't break them. And today is a perfect example of that. Missing out. Goober shit, man. Goober. But that's okay. I'm not perfect. And you guys have always known that. So we'll give this a couple minutes. But let's assume for a second you did break even on this. The interesting thing about this is 50%. So why is the 50% level interesting today here? Because if you look at it, and you have to think back to I want to say it was last year. A lot of last year we spent on the crossing of 50%, whether it crossed lower to go for lows or crossed higher to go for highs. So one thing that intrigues me about today, most people would probably overlook this, but the crossing of 50%. We didn't do it here. We didn't do it there. You know when we did? Was here. We did not cross 50% on that first initial run. We traded back down into a discount. We do not trade past the 1, 2, 3 formation. Bodies stay inside the inversion. Then we cross 50%. So price does not trade, even though it retraces here, it just goes back to the 25% level. Does not trade past the manipulation low. Kind of meanders there a little bit. And then what do you have? It's not necessarily the Judas by itself, but you do have a low here, a lower low there, and then that third one right there. And that, my friends, is the Judas model again. And look at that expansion here. That is disgusting. That was kind of like what I did yesterday. Wick entry, straight fucking boom. Now, 11:35, I was on the road, passing people up in the right lane. Why do people do that? Why do people go slow in the fast lane, chat? Why do people do that? It's 45 and you're doing like 43. Move your ass. You know what I mean? All right. Sorry. Let's come back. It's the second leg, right? Like that's how I drive, and that's the trades that I want. And that's what was offered while I was on the road during lunch. So it's like, damn. So it's a rough day, chat. It's a rough day. Emotionally, it's a rough day. You know what I mean? There was a red SUV Cadillac that did move over into the right lane to let me pass. I did wave at him. I said, thank you. And then I skirted off. But, oh, God, people irritate me a lot. I mean, I get doing the speed limit or just above it. I get that. That's no problem. But doing below the speed limit in the fast lane, you deserve to get throat punched like 3 times in a row. Okay. So again, 56 and a half is up here. We met the consolidation. We haven't traded above it. My guess is now, since we're basically near that 75 to 50%, I could see a retracement into this, maybe get some trailing stops. You know, for people that are already in this move, they might panic here on a pullback, get rid of their position, and then this will probably fly higher. Oh, Lee Bright, I'm on time. I'm never late. Not anymore. So, what's good, Michael? You think Dow is going to drop? Where is it going, Lee Bright? Where is it going? Mind you, we took out yesterday's. I don't know what happened yesterday in the after hours, but we mooned big time, and we just took that high up here. But it's not done. ES isn't done. If I was wrong, if we do not trade up to 56, I'll be shocked, honestly. But since I'm not in a trade, it really won't bother me whether it goes there or not. At this point, it's just the ego thing. Am I going to be right or wrong? You know? So, yeah, we'll give it some time and we'll see. But again, for those of you that hopped on late, FOMC is in about 38 minutes. So just be mindful of that. I would not advise taking a trade right now. If I was already in one, or if you were already in one, I think that's fine. But as of right now, I would not enter a trade at the moment. But this, again, this looks primed to go higher. There's a small 5-minute imbalance here. We'll see if that gets traded through or if that's just going to send it. I don't know. I don't know. If I was in from down here, this would be a good add-on right about here. Just to get a little bit extra juice. Again, if it does that, though. So we'll give it a few minutes. We'll take a look. I'll answer any questions you guys have, and then yeah, we'll just have fun. What parameters do you have your chart set to? I don't understand what that means. Would like my trading view settings, or what are we talking about here? Matter of fact, while you do that, I should tell you, I got this book in yesterday and I almost finished it. The Great Mental Models. General excuse me, General Thinking Concepts by Shane Parrish. I literally got through like 80% of it. What's funny is I'm actually on the chapter called Inversion, if you can believe that. It's called Inversion, which is hilarious. I don't think Shane trades, but I read 140 something pages yesterday. Oh, look. Oh, look at that. Little bit of expansion. Mike, though, what settings are we talking about here? My crystal ball settings? Or you mean like the size of the text, the colors and stuff? What are we talking about, man? The quality of your, this is what I love when Zach used to say this. The quality of your question depends on the, or the quality of the answer depends on the quality of your question. Some shit like that. Yeah, Mason, I'm glad at least one of you watched it. That mental models video. Oh, the text colors. Yeah, see, there we go. There we go. That's some second order thinking, Mike. We got to have some second order thinking. If I ask him about settings, what settings is he going to talk about? And if I don't know what you're asking about, I don't know how to help you. You see that? You see what I did there, Mason? All right. Let me see. The body is the white, and it's at 90%. The body for a down candle I don't know. Where's the color at? Why is it not highlighting one? Oh shit. I don't know then. I guess the borders is the gray above the blue. Unless my trading view is tripping, like why doesn't it highlight? Oh, that's fucked. I think it's the gray above the blue, but the opacity is 80%. And then everything else is just the gray above the blue at 100%. Let me see. Background is whatever color that is. A light gray, I guess. Text Also gray, 14. I don't know. That's weird. Trading View's tripping out. I don't know why. The colors here were actually inspired many years ago. I mean, this was like 3.5 years ago. Somebody on Twitter, and I forget who it was, but they shared a chart that looked very similar to this. And I was like, oh shit, that actually looks good. And I don't know if I copied them exactly. And if I, even back then, if I knew who it was, I would give them credit, but I don't remember who it was. But yeah, these colors are nice and neutral. And that's why this chart is it's actually labeled calm, because it's relaxing. You don't see a lot of gray, or no, sorry. You see a lot of gray. You don't see a lot of green. You don't see a lot of red. So you should not be psychologically finessed by the colors. When we see a lot of green, we might think bullish. But if you're at a fucking reversal, your ass is grass. Right? Or the same thing. If we see a lot of red, we might be like, oh, that's bearish. And then you short at the low of the day and you get your face ripped off. So many, many years ago, I went to the gray. It's the gray above the blue, just the opacity of the wick and candle is just a bit lower. Still need the setting for HD on OBS. Okay. I guess we got time as we watch this. So, Librite, open OBS, and then on the far right side or at the top left, click Settings. And then under Settings, there's a list: General, Appearance, Stream, Output, Audio, Video is the one you want. Under Video, there is a base resolution and a output resolution. The other day when the stream here was ass, you guys said it was 720. What I changed was the output resolution up to 1920 by 1080. And then I exited OBS, restarted it, and then everything was clean. No, hell no. I don't like trading on my iPhone. No. No, no, no. I mean, iPad maybe, but no. I like being on a computer. Oh, okay. That's what that plus means. Okay. So that gray then is 787B86. The borders is 434651. So you might want to screenshot that if you'd like, because I'm pretty sure the others are the same. Yeah, it's all the same. 434651. Yeah, that's the same. That's the same. Yeah, I don't know why that does that. And the background is D1, D4, DC. D1, D4, DC. I guess there's not a way to... Is there a way to share it somehow? Oh yeah, sharing is right there. Fuck you guys. You can just put them in yourself. No, I'm playing. I'll share it later in the Discord. I'll share it later. It's the ones I have, but my images are not as clear as yours. Well, shit, Libre. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. And I want to say you were right here. Kinda. I wouldn't say this was a Judas model, but that is there at least. I don't know. I just don't know about the highs there. But, ugh. The Dow 1 minute entirely today, to me, was horrendous. And when we were doing this, that's when I went to check, like, okay, what's going on? Then I saw FOMC. I was like, okay, that makes sense then. We got a reversal. Well, not a reversal, but like we traded lower here and then took those lows. And here there was a divergence. Then we launched, cleared 50%. Then this is our first run back into discount. Then when we got back above it, right around 1030, and then that's when I was saying, yeah, 41,175 is clean highs. And then it didn't take long for us to get up there. And this is not a mitigation in the way that I look at it, but it functions as one. Here. Okay, because it's not, I mean, I guess if you take that low there, that is a lower low, yes. But when I look for mitigations, I'd rather have like the lowest low, not like how it is here. Because in this case, I would have looked at this low. Bodies. I would have said low, see the strength there. Because remember, over here, ES had not crossed 50%. Well, hell, at 10:08, that was here. ES still made one more pass lower. You know what I mean? So that was dirt. And that's why I said a few minutes ago that Dow was the one that was, if you were going to long today, Dow was the one to long. So the mistakes that I made, number one, I had a busy schedule. Number two, I did not trade Dow, which I should have. So I didn't trade the right index. And I traded on like a day that I got a lot going on, so I shouldn't have done that. So, you know, there's that. So, look, man, if we come back below 50%, I don't know what to tell you. I probably would be glad that I wasn't in a trade, because if you think about it, 56.55 3/4, this is like less than 2 points from that high, and it pulls back heavily. That sucks. Still bullish on NQ and ES, but I see sort of a bearishness first. This move lower might be more aggressive on YM. That's why I said YM would drop. I'll buy NQ only below previous day's low or below the AM session low. NQ was not even close to clearing its high today here. Decent pullback. I wouldn't touch this. This is like the weakest index today. You can tell from the numbers as well. Look at that. So that's not ideal for me. I don't like that. Yeah. So honestly, there's nothing to do until FOMC and then post, like afterward. But you were right. It's a nice pullback there on Dow. But look at this 1 minute though, dude. This looks terrible. I guess that's the next low. Here. I won't argue with it. What other questions you guys got? Because we're pretty much just waiting for FOMC at this point. We could probably clip this and then make it into a short video. I got to thinking yesterday when I was reading this book on the mental models, I was trying to see how it could fit into trading, and I think some of it does apply. And then there came a point where, because the chapter I just finished last night, he does talk about thinking in probabilities, which I thought was pretty cool. Let's see if I can blow this up. Probabilistic thinking. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. But before that, there was a portion where he talked about the Socratic method. Do you guys know what that is? Second order thinking, that's a good one, especially for traders. I don't really, I can't explain it like I would want to. In the short term, second order thinking is thinking about the reaction and then the reaction after that, like the long-term consequences. Basically delay gratification. But it got me thinking, I do like the Socratic method. Do you guys want to know, I guess, what that would be for trading? How to use the Socratic method to increase confidence in day trading? Does that sound good to you? Drop some, we didn't do ones yet, did we? Drop some ones in the chat if that sounds interesting to you. How to use, let me start. I was like fucking up for a minute. Are you guys still here? It was like, it froze. Can you guys still see in here? Drop some twos in the chat if you guys can still see in here. I guess my new drive is struggling. I don't know. Okay, you guys are here. Cool. All right. How to use the Socratic method to increase confidence in day trading. So what do you guys think the Socratic method is without looking it up? What was Socrates known for? What was Socrates known for, and what do we call today, what it is that we call today the Socratic method? I'm basically doing it now. Naruto says, asking questions to find the logic behind beliefs. Harmon says, debate. I wouldn't say debate, but Socrates was known for asking questions. That's pretty much like all he did, was ask questions. So what is the Socratic method? It's asking questions. Now, I could obviously come up with a lot more questions than what I have, but the 5 whys: who, what, where, when, and why. Are you guys aware of those? The 5 or W's, the 5 W's. Who, what, where, when, and why. So the first one, who, when I look at day trades, right? Because we're talking about day trading here. Swing trading, I guess, would work too, but specifically in day trading, who is in open profit? who is in open profit. If we were to look at our current chart example, from this morning when we traded massively lower and then we continued a few more times lower until right around 10:15. So when we see a move like that, who is in open profit? That would be shorts. Shorts would be in open profit. Anybody that shorted up here and they're holding that position lower, they're in unrealized gains, unrealized profits. They're in a position, they just haven't realized it yet. They haven't closed the position. So when I look for a day trade, and more specifically a reversal, that's what I have to ask myself. Who is in open profit? And currently that would be shorts. So the next question would be where? Where what? Where is the liquidity? Where are their stops? Because remember, when we talk about who's in open profit, after a run lower, shorts are in profit. So where is their liquidity? It's going to be at the high of the day or maybe slightly lower. There's going to be a lot of stops that are trailing down to a high or a lower high or a lower high, right? Something like that. There's going to be liquidity there too. On a super small scale, yes. Who is in open profit? Where is the liquidity? If we were to do top-down analysis, the next question, what does the higher time frame suggest? Higher, lower, maybe consolidation. After a couple large ranges, maybe we get a small range. After a couple of small ranges, maybe we get a large range. What does the higher time frame suggest? Number 4, why should the market go higher, or why should the market go lower? Let me pull this up again. Okay, because this will be a little bit easier to explain. Who is in open profit at the time of the screenshot? Shorts. Where is the liquidity? You got some highs here. You do have a distinctive high here. Based on a little bit of a larger perspective, you have a distinctive high up here and that consolidation. Okay. Where's the liquidity? There it is. What does the higher time frame suggest? I didn't even look at the higher time frames today, to be honest with you. So I can't really answer that. Why should the market go higher or lower? Well, in this case, given the two markups that we have, 1, 2, 3 formation lower, is it likely to make a fourth lower low versus going higher up to here? It doesn't have to go all the way up there to be profitable, but direction wise, why should the market go higher or lower? It should go higher because we have liquidity. It should not go lower because we have multiple stop runs and shorts are in open profit. Does that make sense so far? Drop some 3s in the chat if you're like, okay, I like this so far. We're getting a little bit sophisticated. You like that? Sophistication. You gotta learn some shit. You got to learn some shit. Stop working hard. Start working smart. Right? Okay. Who is in open profit? Where is the liquidity? What does the higher time frame suggest? Why should the market go higher or lower or consolidate? This one, the last two don't start with a W. I just threw them in here because why not? Does the market offer a setup? Does the market offer a setup? What is your model? Is it the Judas model? Is it the mitigation model? Is it the lazy traders model? Is it the NCE model? Is it a down candle or up candle type of model? Is it a time-based entry? Right? Does the market offer a setup? It will or it won't. And the last one, okay, does the market offer a setup? The last one is, can a low risk, high reward setup be framed? Or what would probably be a little bit easier is, can you frame a low risk, high reward setup? Because you can have a setup, but if it doesn't offer low risk, high reward, then that may not be for you. Oh, this is only a 1-to-1. Okay, that's not a low risk, high reward setup. 1-to-2, maybe. 1-to-3, anything greater than a 1-to-3, that's a low risk, high reward setup. So it's almost like a checklist, if you will, not of specific confirmations, but I guess more of context. Okay, so I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say these 6 one more time, just in case you missed it. Okay, who is in open profit? Where is the liquidity? What does the higher time frame suggest? Why should the market go higher or lower? Does the market offer a setup? And can you frame a low risk, high reward setup? If you wanted to add, like, is it the right time to trade? That could probably be something. If it's outside the scope of ideal time windows, like if you like pre-market, go for it. Or if it's after hours, I don't usually trade after hours, right? So by answering some of those questions, that should give you more confidence in day trading. What do you guys think? That wasn't so hard, was it? And we got that done in under 10 minutes. Not bad, huh? Drop some 4s if you guys got some value today. So far. We are coming up on the 1 o'clock macro, but news is coming up, so I would think that the news really just should trump the macro, but you know, who am I? So now we wait. Now we wait. That poor imbalance was short-lived. Wonder if that becomes an inversion now. that'd be wild. That'd be wild. Appreciate that, Scott. And yeah, like I said, if you guys want to watch the video, I added it to the playlist, the useful or helpful videos playlist, which is totally free. And it's an entire playlist of videos that are not mine. They're videos from other YouTubers, not me. Okay. There's a lot of great content creators. Okay. And sometimes people put out really good shit. A lot of it's kind of like not that great, but some of it's really good. And I did find that one. I was like, this is useful. And in that video, he explains very briefly the great mental models, again, from this book by Shane Parrish. Okay. It's not a difficult read. Oh, look at that. Volatility, dog. What the fuck? There it is. The great mental models. Okay. And that's funny. That imbalance did become an inversion in the short term. Interesting. Interesting. Man, what a day. What a day. You know how awful I would feel if I went in, added, and then got a break even on this? I would be fucking heated, probably. I would be like, bro, I should have just got stopped out in profits instead of trying to finesse. That's probably what would have happened. Yeah, what a day. What a day, chat. But I like it though. I'm not always perfect. Seven minutes. Or no. Yeah. 7 minutes until our FOMC. Yeah. So I'll tell you this. Okay. Leading up to FOMC, I have no idea what to expect. Okay. Other than just volatility. I don't know. I just have no idea with confidence. Okay. What I do know is the two hot. Let me go back to the smaller time frame for a second. These two highs here now are low resistant highs. I know that. So my best estimate, I would say, is probably something to what Lee Bright said earlier. Yoink it lower, grab some stops from the morning, maybe take, what is that, yesterday's low on Tuesday, and then maybe run it higher. I could see something like that. I probably will not trade today or any more today. I probably will not do anything. Number one, I got that meeting in about 30 minutes. And then that meeting is also at the same time of the press conference. So I think there's going to be volatility pretty much from 1 o'clock until the close of business today. You love the Toga water? Yeah, Saratoga. I just bought a 12 pack yesterday. They only give you like a 10% discount for buying in bulk too. And they're proud of these fucking waters, bro. They're like $2.99 a pop. I mean, it's fine, but geez, your your friends are gonna call you bougie. You know, drinking really fancy water like that. But I can't help it, man. I tried it. I liked it. It's nice. Nikki, you're banned. You're mad. I was actually just not at the post office. I was just at UPS earlier, renewing my mailbox. They must have had a new guy, dude, because he took like 10 minutes. Yeah, Scott, Day Traders Water, Saratoga. That'd be cool to get a sponsorship. A Saratoga sponsorship. That'd be kind of cool. Wow, right? That's wild. What a reversal. What a day. What a day. And that's so funny. I did not even try to do that. Right? We watched that imbalance be bullish and then it wasn't and then it became I was like, "Oh, that might become a an inversion." That's hilarious. I was not even trying to do that. That's funny. But that just goes to show you, chat, the power of concepts. Okay? What is it? The law of the return. What was once bullish becomes bearish. Cake. This looks like an engineered high. For those of you that still have questions on that. But yeah, I'm in agreement, Sleep, right? I think we should probably wreck lower and then jam it higher. We are going to find out here shortly, here in a few minutes. course, we get like we get more viewers now, but it's like we're getting more viewers on a day that I don't know what to expect, which isn't often. But today's probably not a day where you want new and more viewers because I can't offer a lot. I can't offer you a trade setup. If you're going to trade now, your stop loss will not be respected and you're going to get your face ripped off. They want signals. I gave you guys a signal earlier, basically. I told you 175 on Dow, like at least, I don't know, 10 minutes before we got there, you know? And I don't even charge for that. I don't even charge for that. I don't need to. Could you add the time back at the bottom? It makes it easier when I come back to watch the lives. Yeah, I'll try to do that later. I told you I lost everything. I lost I don't know how much, but I lost probably a few chapters of the book I was writing. Gone. Because I saved it to my PC instead of the cloud. It's unreadable. It's done. And all my OBS stuff went with it. That's why the start and soon screen looks a little bit different. Because I had to remake it. And the clock is gone. The clock went with it. Most of that overlay and stuff is from Canva. So Canva still had it. But the clock was not. That was just in OBS. What is OBS? Open broadcast software. That's how you're able to see my screen projected onto your screen on YouTube. It's through OBS. So I have my screen. OBS takes my screen, sends it to YouTube, and YouTube sends it to all of you. Damn. We spiked like 8 points in a second. Did you see that? "15-second chart. You see how we just gap 2, 3, 6 points and shit? That's why your stop loss doesn't get respected. Because it skips price levels. Which is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool to witness. It's not cool when you're on the wrong side of that. But it is cool to understand why we have rules and why you're not supposed to do certain things. Yeah, they all kind of whipsawed. Dollar hasn't done too much. That's fine. But yeah, I will add the clock back. And I think that's really about it. So we got our initial spike lower, but it didn't make a new low of day. What do you think, Lee Bright? Yeah, none of them have made a new low of day. The only thing we took was lunch's low in the way that I view it. But we also did that before the release. Previous day low on Nasdaq should be the stop. I have no idea, dude. I still don't. What would have been cool to see is if we would have gotten a sell model instead of like this. Like if these were these are low resistant lows, right? And it's like, well, if that ends up being a consolidation and then we run higher, this could have been like a second leg to go lower. That would have been cool. Libra says, I don't know either. Yeah. Can't put risk on that. You know what I mean? Can't put risk on that. I mean, you could, but you're just asking to get wrecked. Let's get 50% off there. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here because there's really nothing else to do. But that's what I would anticipate. Okay. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I don't know. If I had to say, I'm sticking to my guns. Also, with what Lee Bright said, if it were me, I would run it lower, grab the stops, even grab like this short-term low from the initial move, take all of that, and then run it higher. It won't do that in a matter of minutes, probably. But remember, at 1:30 is the press conference. So keep that in mind. 1 o'clock Central Time, federal funds rate. At 1:30 is the press conference. So that's why I said I think it will be volatile from now until, probably the close. But more so around 1:30, because once Powell starts yapping, accounts get to clapping. You know what I mean? So you could put that in your notes if you'd like. That's what I think is likely. So that's a good way to close it. All right. So with that, be blessed. All right. I don't stream on Thursdays. Lee Bright will stream on Thursday in the Discord. We will be here again on Friday, same time, same place, right here on YouTube. Okay. If you don't know what's going to happen, if you're scared to trade today, then don't. Okay. Then don't. FOMC meeting minutes. Yeah, I can like really grow your account, but it could rip your face off too. There's your lows. There's your lows. All right. So be good. Don't do anything stupid, especially today. And I'll see you guys on Friday.